Eric in Cedar Rapids.
Hello.
Hey, Eric.
Hi, how are you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm really honored to be on your show.
Okay.
My question is anti-theism. I've watched.
Did you say
videos.
Did you say anti-theism?
That's what I thought.
That's right.
Okay, because the note here said pantheism, so I guess I didn't hear you. Go ahead.
I've watched videos in the past of you, Matt, doing your tidbit on what you think it is, and I was just wondering because you've mentioned anti-theism to be strong atheism, where I've done not as much as you probably looking up where anti-theism is against the position against religions.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering how I could clarify that. Which one is it? Like, is it the definite answer that you firmly believe that God does not exist, or is it like a position against religion?
It sounds like you've got weak and strong atheism confused with whether or not you are tolerant of religion, which is almost a different question entirely, right? So atheism is the lack of a belief in God.
Right.
And strong atheism is kind of being sure that, or believing that there is no God, or that sort of thing. So it's a stronger position, right? But anti-theism is really sort of a position about what you feel about religion, and whether you feel it's making a contribution or whether it's harmful. So many of us in the ACA are anti-theists, but not all of us, right? And that's not a condition of membership. That's just kind of where we are on that particular spectrum. But we're all atheists.
Right.
And the language gets confusing. There are a whole bunch of different labels that a lot of people, which is why one of the things you'll hear me say on the show over and over again when I get theists who call in is tell me what you believe and why. I don't care what label you want to put on it. You can call it kerfluffin if you want to. Let's talk about what you actually believe and why. And the why being the first thing of critical importance. And the second why is, why should I also believe it? I mean, if your answer is I believe in God, not you specifically, but I believe in God because it has been revealed to me, personally, then okay, I suppose there's some possibility that you might be justified. But why should anybody else believe if they haven't had that same type of revelation? On the anti-theism thing, I am actively opposed to theistic positions as not demonstrably true, demonstrably divisive and harmful. That's it. It's not I hate religious people. It's not I want to obliterate religion. And it's not necessarily tied to a strong atheism position.
Yeah.
You could be a weak atheist and still be convinced that theism is a problem.
Yeah, like when I was looking it up, they classified a strong atheism as non-theism. But I consider putting myself in with Christopher Hitchens' view of anti-theism as seeing religion as harmful to society, and that's where I see myself as.
I'm with you.
And Colin McGinn.
Yeah, that's why I'm honored to be on the show.
What I don't know if you run Camp Quest.
Yeah.
I don't know what labels you normally associate with, or if you even care.
Oh, I don't like labels personally because I think it defines a person too much, and especially as
or misdefines them.
or misdefines them. That's absolutely true. As Camp Quest director, I don't want to label myself because I don't want to have influence on the kids and where they stand on their issues and their ideas. I do hold. I hold my own beliefs, but as the director of a camp that hosts kids, I really don't want to push my personal beliefs off on those children.
Sure.
See, why can't other people do that? I mean, people have called into the show to say, well, the fundamentalists are pushing their position, and you're just, the same thing for the atheist. You're just a preacher for atheism. Well, yeah, I probably am. The difference is that, for one, I'm not going door to door, and I don't make outgoing calls to say, hey, have you stopped believing in Jesus yet? We can help. People call this show, and people email us, and that's one of the big issues. The other one is I'm not asserting a position of there are no gods and you're full of it. I'm saying you haven't made your case. I'm not buying what you're selling. You haven't met your burden of proof. And until you do, it is wrong for you to not only claim that, but to use that to enforce those beliefs onto other people through legislation, through the schools, through indoctrination and manipulation. That's all.
Or any basis of public policy. Right?
I will take the heat for being arrogant, condescending, rude, obnoxious, critical. Throw whatever accusations you want. And I realize that I don't necessarily speak for all atheists, and there are atheist groups that wouldn't necessarily think that I'm the best representative. I don't care. None of them are telling me I'm wrong. None of them would ever come and say, no, you're wrong about religion. You are wrong when you say that they haven't met their burden of proof, because that's what I'm saying.
Sweet. Well, thank you very much.